What's happening, y'all? This is Mike D with Black Fathers Now, where we're bringing the village to the brothers. Every couple of weeks, you can look forward to a quick inspirational message or a thought-provoking guest with knowledge and wisdom, all geared towards helping you be the best father that you can be. We're bringing the village to you. Now it's your turn to do something with what you learned. All right, y'all. Let's go. What's going on, fellas? This is Mike D with Black Fathers Now. Yo, got a quick message, man. Just a thought that I had. It's in regards to how we as brothers that are fathers that are blessed to have children in our lives, how we approach life. And this goes to not necessarily just your relationship or your role as a father, but as a person, as a member of society, as someone who is, walking the earth and in the midst of all this greatness that's called life. And this perspective I want you to think about is being a vessel versus being a tube. Being a vessel versus being a tube. Now think about this. When you think of a vessel, you think of a cup or a bowl or a jar, something or some type of reservoir type thing, right? Something that captures stuff. So if you take a big cup or a big bowl and you pour water in it, okay, that vessel captures all that's being poured into it. Okay, so the cup or the bowl or the jar, whatever it may be, if you pour water into it, it captures all that's being poured into it. But then if you keep pouring into that jar or that vessel, eventually that jar or vessel, that bowl, it fills up. And after it fills up, it starts running over. So now the water that's being poured into that vessel runs over and goes elsewhere. So you've basically captured all that you could capture in that particular vessel. And now once that vessel is full, it spills over and water goes to other places. That's a vessel, right? Now let's think about a tube. And when you think about a tube, think about a pipe, like a pipe in which water runs through, or think about a drinking straw. If you take a straw or a pipe or a tube and you hold it over a sink and you pour water into one end of that tube, water goes straight through and out the other end. You pour water through a straw or you drink through a straw. What comes up through your cup then comes into you. When you think about a tube, when you think about a pipe under your sink, when you turn the water on, the water runs through the pipe, down the drain, through the pipes, and then to your sewage system. So a pipe allows water or liquid or whatever you pour through it. A pipe allows whatever's being poured through to be carried through and distributed out the other side. Whereas a vessel captures all that's being poured into it, and it stays there until the vessel is full. And then, and only then, does that vessel release what has been poured into it. So let's stop and think about life. Let's stop and think about how you approach life. Life is a beautiful thing. It's not perfect. It's not always going to be fun, but it is a beautiful thing when you step back and look at it. And one of the beautiful things about life is the fact that if you're paying attention, you notice people pouring into you from all different angles. There's somebody that's pouring wisdom into you. There's somebody that's pouring knowledge in. There's somebody that's pouring experience in. There's somebody pouring love in. There's somebody, pouring opportunity in. If you're really paying attention, because we're all interconnected here, there are people pouring into you as a man? It might not be a lot of people, but there's somebody pouring into you. It might be as simple as your grandmama's praying for you, or, somebody gives you a kind word, whatever it may be. Somebody is pouring into you. Now, the question that I have for you, fathers, is that are you now acting as a vessel, or are you a tube? Somebody pours into you. Do you just capture it and you hold on to it until you just have so much that you can't contain, and then you finally let some go and pour into other people? Or do you automatically turn into a tube? Meaning someone pours into you, then you look at it and you approach it as if it's your duty to then go and allow that to pass through you, and then you in turn pour into someone else. It's an interesting perspective, because I would venture to say that the vast majority of us, and at times me included, and this is something that I'm working on personally, because fellas, I'm a father too, and I'm not perfect. Okay. No, not perfect by any means, but at times, and I would venture to say the vast majority of the time, most of us approach life as a vessel where we're looking to be completely full before we then in turn pour into someone else. But I would challenge you to take a different perspective on life and start looking at life from the perspective of being a tube. Being honest about the fact that a lot of people, a lot of entities around you are pouring into you. Let's not wait until we're completely full to then go and turn and pour into someone else. Specifically here, before we go and pour into our children, before we go and pour into those that we mentor. Because if we wait, first off, there's a risk involved. Tomorrow's not promised to anyone. Okay? We all know that. Tomorrow's not promised to anyone. So why wait on what you can do now and do it tomorrow? If you're inspired to pour into someone, don't wait until it's perfect. Go and pour into them. And when I say pour into, I don't mean you have to buy things and all of that. Sometimes pouring into someone comes in a form of listening, spending time, paying attention, understanding what the needs are, and actually meeting those needs. Because so many people have poured into you, let's approach life as a tube and not become a reservoir in which we're holding on to things. Let it go and let's pour into others. Specifically, let's pour into our children, because once again, this is Black Fathers Now. We're bringing the village to you. The village is coming in the form of insight, thought-provoking messages, interviews, whatever. It's going to be a lot of different forms of stuff, but the whole point is bringing it to you. Now that you have it, what are you going to do with it? So, fathers, fellas, Black fathers, are you going to be a tube or are you going to be a vessel? The choice is yours. But I want you to remember this. The world, your family, and your children depend on you making the right choice. All right? Well, until next time, fellas, y'all be blessed, well, and wise. And I'll holler at you. Peace. Yo, fellas, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And always visit blackfathersnow.com, as well as follow Black Fathers Now on virtually every social media platform you can think of. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, everywhere. Just follow us and engage with us, man. Look forward to hearing from you. And I guess until next time, I'll holler at you. Peace.